Come on in, everybody. I'm going to figure out what music we're going to play right quick. Let's see what we got here. We did the I'm Flying song. Here we go. It's the Fly Baby song. Hey everybody! Playing a little music before we start our show has always been fun for me because I adore music. I can even conduct you all with my magic wand that Robert made for me. I have my tea. It's filled with vitamin C, the goodness of vitamin C. I love my vitamin C. We are drinking to our health today. Yep, we're drinking to our health. Oh, yeah, that's heavenly. I love our Body Clutter Wise Women's Tea. Get it in the fly shop. It's going fast. And it's medicinal. That's why we made it. If you go check out a TED Talk or a YouTube video from Dr. William Li, he did a TED Talk about the virtues of tea. And I got to thinking, I need to drink tea every day. And I knew I wouldn't do it for me, but I would do it for you. So now we're having tea together. Oh, and I'm drinking it. Even when it gets cold, I'm drinking it. And it is wonderful. Turn my little humidifier on. Change the temperature of the light to bright white. Light up this side of my face a little. I kind of need a wall of lights right here, but I don't have it. I've been looking up recipes for a no-knead bread because we don't like to get our hands messy, let's face it. And I found a recipe on YouTube, and let's see if I can find the name of the person. I don't have her name here, but it was a no-knead bread, and I'm cutting out carbs, but if you got little kids at home and you need to make sandwiches and you don't have bread, you're in a panic, and I don't want you to be in a panic. And this only called for 1 teaspoon of yeast. And I keep yeast on hand in a little brown jar in my refrigerator. And it called for 1 teaspoon of active dried yeast, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 cup of whole wheat flour, and 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And then she took, I don't know how much 250 milliliters is, but she used 150 milliliters, and I'd have to look at my measuring cup because it's got milliliters on it, for getting the yeast ready. So she put the yeast with the sugar in with warm water in a bowl, and then she let that activate, and then she added some salt to her dry mixture, and then she poured the activated yeast mixture into her bowl of flour and took the end of her spoon. She took the end of her spoon and just tossed it around. And she let it rise for 6 hours. It tripled in size. And the same, she also put a little bit of oil. You could use olive oil. You could use whatever oil you got. I would probably use butter because I like butter. And she let it rise for 6 hours. And then she scooped it out and put it into a loaf pan. And she made 2 loaves, and she sprinkled sesame seeds on top. And then she, after it cooked at 400, let's see, how many degrees she cooked it at? 400 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes. And you look up no-knead bread, super easy, super soft on YouTube, and you'll probably find this lady doing this recipe. She's an Indian lady, and from the country of India, I think. Her voice sounds like it, but it was just a simple recipe that wasn't a whole lot of mess to it. And right now we don't need to make more messes than we can clean up in a day. So let's make some bread for our family. I'm not eating bread right now, but sometimes we just have to get back to basics. And having a loaf of bread is a good thing. And it's when you got to feed your kids, you got to feed your kids. I heard some good news today. There is a drug that's been around forever. It's used with people who have arthritis, and it's called chloroquine, and there's also one hydrochloroquine. It's like quinine stuff. It was for malaria and rheumatoid arthritis. These things they're being looked at to help cut down the length of time that you're sick with the virus. Liz gave me this scarf for Christmas. Thank you very much. It's pink and black, and it makes me happy. Anyway, here's to our health. I also heard some more good news today. And I thought of this last week, and I didn't say anything to anybody, but I still thought of it because we got lots of common sense around here. And one of the things they said that I thought of was, we got all these cruise ships. They have a couple of thousand passengers. That means a couple of thousand rooms. Why couldn't we use those for hospitals? And Carnival Cruise Line volunteered their ships to be used outside of large density cities, Miami, New York, to help people. How wonderful is that, y'all? People pulling together to make this happen. And this morning, as I was doing my show, my friend Amy Fisher, her dad, and I he's passed away now. Lloyd was one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. But his daughter, who's Justin's age, she's a real estate agent. She's a wonderful real estate agent. She helped find the house Leanne's in to rent, and she's just a wonderful person. She called to check on me. She called to check on me and Robert. Now, isn't that sweet? So I told her I was gonna start a chain, and I think we should all do this, folks. This is something we all can do. Call and check on somebody. It doesn't matter if they're young or old. If it's another young mother, call and check on somebody. So I called my sister-in-law. And I said, it's day 5 since you got home. If you're going to be getting a temperature, it'll probably be today. And she says, I had an anxiety attack about that at noon. And I said, don't be scared. It's going to be fine. We're here for you. If whatever you need, we'll bring it and drop it off at your door. And so she was calling to check on somebody. So let's all take it upon ourselves. We got 375 people in here. If we call and check on 3 to 5 people that 3 to 5 people, just call and check on them. See if it's something they need, or if they have food, or if they're elderly, can you go get whatever they need? So folks, sometimes you just need to hear somebody else's voice. So I called Leanne. I said, okay, I just need to hear your voice. I know you're on, but I need us to talk. So we talked and we calmed each other. So pick up the phone and call a friend. It's time to phone a friend, and let's reach out and touch somebody. Not just through social media, just pick up the phone and check on them. And maybe y'all could have tea together. Have them fix themselves a cup of tea and y'all just talk on the phone for a little while. It'll make you feel better. It'll make me feel better. It'll make us all feel better. And we'll dispel the anxiety that's out there, and share the good news. Share the good news, because this stuff is gonna end one day, and we're gonna be stronger for it. So let's have some tea. Let's drink up, and let's get outside of us being anxious. Because when you're helping somebody, you have to be calm. And that helps you too. Because really, when you're helping somebody, you're mainly helping yourself. Somebody's glad that I found my iPod. My little black bag, I have a little black leather bag that goes in my car, in between the passenger seat and the driver's seat. And it has all my emergency stuff, emergency cords, everything that I need to take with me when I travel. And I had zipped it up in a pocket. And I didn't realize the pocket was there, because when I looked down in it, I was looking for something gold, because my iPod has got a little gold case on it. And I should be able, but I couldn't find it. But now I have it. We've got some good music. And, sometimes you just need to calm yourself, get outside of your own anxiety, and check on somebody you love. Check on your neighbor. You might not want to go up to the door, but check on your neighbor. And everything's going to be okay. Know that everything's going to be okay. I got my little I have my little crystals. I've been putting one on every so often. And I got a sunbeam coming through the window, and I'm looking for rainbows on my ceiling. I don't see any yet, but they might be on the floor. Sometimes they get on the floor, and when they happen, I'll know it. It's not a straight sunbeam, but it'll be okay. We'll get rainbows in here. We will. I know we will. We're having church online every day. How wonderful is that? Praying the rosary. What a wonderful thing to do. Ben had a friend to give him a rosary. You can pray the rosary anywhere. I like to pray for people. I wear a rosary bracelet, and it has all these knots on it. And these knots are knots that I pray for people. But right now I'm praying for our political figures in Washington, D.C., trying to help us all. And they're working together. And that comes from prayer, y'all. That comes from prayer. I'm praying for our president. I'm praying for our vice president. I'm praying for the task force. I'm praying for my immediate family members, Justin and Emily, Ethan and Sarah. I'm praying for Ben. I'm praying for Brooklyn, who is in L.A. I'm praying for my sisters. I'm praying for my dear friends around the world. And I'm praying for Leanne. We're doing cooking classes in 45 minutes, y'all. Oh, she's gonna, 45 minutes, she's gonna do a cooking class. And guess what? She's gonna be making meatloaf. And she's gonna do it without a recipe. Doesn't that free you up? No recipe. It's our perfectionism that wants a recipe. I cook without a GPS, y'all. Most of the time, I cook without a GPS. So Leanne is going to teach us how to make meatloaf. A simple meatloaf. And you know, it's the meatloaf that keeps on giving. Because when we do the hot melt sprint, she brought me meatloaves that she makes in cupcake papers, in cupcake muffin tins. I made meatloaf 2 nights ago. I cooked a big, huge meatloaf, and I forgot to put onions in it. Leanne's class will be on Facebook live on Saving Dinner Facebook page. Now, I forgot to put onions in it, but it still worked out to be a wonderful meatloaf. I didn't put anything else in it except some Worcestershire and some soy sauce, salt and pepper, and some garlic powder. But it was the last pack of hamburger meat in the store, and Robert got it, and it wasn't, the 80% stuff that I usually like, but guess what? It was some good meatloaf. I put some ketchup on top of it and finished cooking it. And because I didn't put onions in it, it made a lot of grease, and we used that beef fat to supplement Tulip's food. And she was the happiest critter you have ever seen. The happiest critter you have ever seen, having real beef grease over her food. And you would have thought I'd given her a steak bone. I love it. And it doesn't take long to make a meatloaf. It really doesn't. So join Leanne on her Saving Dinner page, Saving Dinner on Facebook, and she's going to teach us how to make meatloaf. And then you're going to have some leftovers. Yeah, I understand that, but I got hamburger meat in my freezer too. I've got solid hamburger meat, and I've got pre-cooked hamburger meat. Yeah, you don't give dogs onions. We're cooking without a GPS. I love it. So, folks, have a good rest of the day. Go check out Leanne's cooking page. It's Saving Dinner on Facebook. She's right here. She'll put a link into her Facebook page while I'm still talking. I have made some wonderful meatloaves. I've used leftover mashed potatoes that you have in your refrigerator and cut it in the shape of a stick of butter and made the meatloaf, and I put some cheese on top of it and made a meatloaf around the cold mashed potatoes. And you had mashed potatoes and cheese and meatloaf all in the same meatloaf, and it was really good. So you can utilize your leftovers and do some wonderful things. Do some wonderful things with what you've got. So let's make do. I've got plenty of bread flour. I've got some whole wheat flour in the freezer because Robert loves whole wheat. I even have some keto granola that I just got in that I might try to whip into some kind of bread. Carbs are all of our downfalls, y'all. And leftovers are a gift from God, because I like to plan for leftovers because I use them for lunch. So, y'all, let's say some prayers for some people. Let's get out our rosaries. Let's get out our prayer beads. Whatever you got, let's just even get out your pearls. I might wear my pearls tomorrow. And use your pearls to pray for people. Just, all you need is a bead. All you need is a bead. And just pray for people. Because right now, we're stuck at home. We're stuck at home. And we need to get outside of our brains, outside of our heads, and reach out and touch somebody. And you can do that quite simply. Because there's some good news in the world. There is some real good news in the world. And it's up to us to share that good news and not let people be fearful, because fear is of the devil. He wants us to live in chaos. He wants us to live anxious. He wants us to hunker down and not go out there and do things for people. But we can pick up the phone. We have technology. Yeah, this is my little humidifier. It keeps my sinuses moist. This is what gets us sick, is when we have dry sinuses. Take note every year when you turn your heat on. The first week you're going to get a sinus infection, and it's because it's taking the humidity out of the air. When I go to a hotel when I have to be in a hotel, I don't run the heat or air conditioning in a hotel. I just leave it and I have a travel one of these that I take with me that sticks in a water bottle. It looks like a little tulip. So folks, take some time to reach out and touch somebody else. I'm calling it the sister-in-law challenge. If you got sister-in-laws, call them. Because it's up to us women. The men might not do it, but we can call our sister-in-law. We can call our sister. We can check on people. Don't be fearful. Tomorrow can be a pearl and tea day. That's a good idea. That's a real good idea, Gemma. That's a good idea. So I'll bring my pearls tomorrow, and we will have pearls. We might even put on a tiara. How about that? Won't that be fun? I'm going to end the show today with a song. Let's see. I just went off standby. I'll turn it back on. I just got to turn the stereo back on. And let's see if I can find us. Let's see. We're doing One More Day. And I always cry with this song. Here we go. And if you go watch my Shiny Sync video, this song is on the Shiny Sync video. And we only need 7,000 more views to be 1 million views.
I can hear the thunder rolling, and the rain begins to fall. I can feel my courage tremble.
No fear here.
After I have come so far, today my heart is sinking.
We gotta be strong, y'all. We gotta be strong.
And my world is caving in.
It's not.
But there's light on the horizon, and the darkness will give in to one more day of hope, one more day of faith. Tomorrow will be brighter if I get through today. Better days are coming further down the road. So for now I'll just keep clinging to one more day of hope. One more day. And I know that I'll get through this. My dreams are in my grasp. When I find the
Power within me.
I know this storm will pass. It will only make me stronger. When this victory just keep clinging to one more day of hope. One more day.
You know, a bunch of people leave when I play the music, but I don't care. They're missing out. Because I let the music flow right through me. It flows right through me. And I know I may not have the greatest voice in the world, but I remember when they sang this song. I was there. I was a part of making all of this music, and it brings back such great memories for me. Because I always dreamed of making music. And Amy made that happen, and Eric made that happen. I don't know why they leave, but they're missing out on some wonderful music, and it's on iTunes. It's on our website. It's you know, you can download this music. You can't get CDs anymore, but you can download it and you can have it. Or I've made a bunch of YouTube videos with it too. So folks, there is hope. Better days are coming. And we're here. We're living proof. We're the mommies of the world. We can do this. And just because people leave because they don't want to hear the music, they need to wait till the end, because you never know what the Holy Spirit is going to prompt me to say. I love you all. Let's say our prayers for everybody. And be sure and watch Leanne in just a few minutes. In 32 minutes. She'll be live making meatloaf. Talk to you later. And don't forget about our sales. All our purple rags on sale. When everybody else is blowing their prices up, we're cutting ours. You got a 25% discount on anything in the whole shop except for the tea. And then purple rags and silver rags are on a BOGO. Pink rags are half price. Get them now. They're going fast. I love you all. See you later.